Hello everyone, welcome to the stream. Today I figured we might as well do something a little different than some of the other streams we've been doing. There's a couple of streams where I have just, decided I'm gonna drink a monster on stream, and then I sit there for 30 minutes, or like an hour, I just drink a monster and I talk, but then occasionally I'll show some random stuff off in a video game that I've been playing recently. Most recently it's been the Ultra Kill, showing off that you can parry a Sisyphean insurrectionist at any time using a cannonball. But I figured, you know what? How about I just make this a thing? So welcome to the late morning talk show with Moop, where I sit here at like 2 or 3 or even 6 as of now in the morning, and I just talk about a bunch of random shit. Not really correlating to anything, not really talking about recent events, but it can also be more of a Q&A if that's all what y'all prefer. Our beverage of choice today is a tropical, fuck, I forgot the last part of it, I'm gonna have to go grab the can. I already threw away the can because I put it in a cup, because when they were being served at the gas station, they were just sitting out in the open. They did not have they were not in a cooler, because it was like a promotional thing. So I was like, okay, cool, I'm just gonna have warm energy drink. And so I then put it in a cup, put it with some ice, and now we got ourselves a ghost energy drink with like Tropic Wilds, I think it's what's called, or some shit like that. It's good. Oh baby, it's good. And much like the other streams that we've been doing of just sitting here and talking. Womp. 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 There we go. It is I, Moop, here to talk about random bullshit that we don't care about. And also, weird. I've received a random text from a random person talking about solar panels. But yep, this is the stream. I might also put up a little symbol that says Q&A. Let's. See. There we go. And yeah, you can't really see it all too well. I might have to just change that to just black, but it's the Q&A, I guess. I mean, there hasn't really been a designated Q&A video or stream, but this is just going to be a video where we talk about stuff. I don't know. I do not know why this is not turning to black. Hold on a second. There we go. Oh, now you can't see it. There we go. Now you can see it clearly. So any questions you may have, I can answer while drinking this drink. Let's get a look at this text real quick. But yep. Let me see if I have a couple questions I can answer right off the gate. Because occasionally people ask me stuff on YouTube and stuff, and I answer it via just standard talking with comments. But I've never really bothered doing it just on a stream. So let's see. Sorry, I need to itch my arm real quick. One thing I will be doing in the future, planning on it, not really gonna dabble with it right now, is doing a Minos Prime blindfolded challenge. Now, I've never bothered. Small animals crawled out from my bed. Now, I didn't want to dabble with this right now, but I would love to do a Minos blindfolded challenge. I don't actually have a blindfold at all. I have a rag. I have a towel I can put around my eyes. But I am super down to do a Minos Prime blackout. Or, not really blackout challenge. I guess it would technically be a blackout challenge because, you know, you can't see anything. But, swap the song real quick because it just ended. Team Fortress theme. For those who don't know, this is from the Poker Night the Inventory soundtrack. Really good game. Gonna have to play it sometime. Ice. That means I don't got a lot of iron. But yeah, I'm definitely gonna be doing that Minos Prime blindfolded challenge. It's gonna be on stream because I don't want to do it via recording because it's just gonna seem like it's, you know, completely fucking fake. Let's be frank here. I was also planning on doing that, but also with like a key binding or whatever, just to make sure that people like know for sure that I'm actually doing it blindfolded. Ah. Well, that was weird. Didn't know that was a thing. It appears my keyboard has been split in two via Sephiroth using a interesting attack. Oh man, it just comes right off, huh? Oh, I can clean off the lint all around here. Interesting. Don't know how or why that happened. Okay. I'm gonna be frank with you, I didn't even know that existed. Oop, I received a notification. Wow. Oh, I did some Elden Ring art today. Figured it might be pretty cool. You probably won't be able to... Oh man, that's just blind. That's just blinding. You can't even see it. I have the physical one. What am I doing? Doing this goofy-og shit. When I could just show off the art. Look at that. Simplistic, but it's very nice. Take a sip of this. And if you with the big ol' Elden Ring, actually used neon Sharpies. That way you can see a hidden message in it. I didn't want to take my webcam all the way over there, not because it's short, but also because I'm really lazy as all hell, so I don't want to do that right now. I don't anticipate a lot of people are going to be showing up right now, because, you know, it's 6 in the morning where I'm at, and I did not sleep since last stream. By the time I did the stream where I got the monster, and the stream where we're at right now, 0 sleep has been done. I've just been playing Satisfactory the entire time. I was planning on doing some Sharpie doodles just for shits and giggles, but probably not. Hold on a sec, I need to find a dumb thing. Oh, the next guy I'm planning on drawing is a very special lad from Elden Ring. You can't really see it all too well, but it's the Dragonkin? I don't remember if it was Dragonskin or Dragonkin. I think it might have been Dragonkin. Soldier from Elden Ring. One of my favorite boss designs. Because, I mean, when you get a big dragon who does lightning with frost, that's... It aches my soul to kill it. I was also planning on talking about some of the games I'm going to be playing on stream. Most importantly, I'm going to be playing games that I've already played. Mainly because, you know, if I play a puzzle game, and I've already played it, if I've played a puzzle game, and I want to stream it, I want to be sure I can play the puzzle game first and then stream it. So that way I don't look like a complete and absolute moron. But one of the games I could be playing is Gnog. It's a really cool game. It's made by the same people who made Psychonauts, or it might have been published. But man, it's a pretty interesting stream or game. It's like, how do I describe this? It's like a puzzle box game where everything is like. I need to change the song. I can't see past my cup. Danger-esque. Nice. But no, Gnog, cool puzzle game. You receive this like weird puzzle thing, and you just have to solve it like a bunch of widgets, and it's pretty sick. One game I may eventually show off that I've been playing a lot of recently is Satisfactory. Now that's a game that is perfect for anyone who has OCD, much like myself, because oh my god, that game, everything clicks together so perfectly. It's almost elegant. But it's in, of course, it's in alpha, I think. Let me check this out actually. I think it's still in beta or it's in alpha. Sure. Let me check this real quick. Oh, it's still in early access. It's a cool game though. It's cool the fact that I've sunk 279 hours into it. Yikes. That's 1/4 of the amount of time I've spent playing TF2. So that's saying something. If a game gets to that amount of like hours played, where it's getting to the point where I can compare it to TF2, then it's a good game in my book. And of course, it's a bit of an idle game. You could just kind of dawdle about and not really do all too much, but man, is it a damn good game. I keep receiving notifications on my phone, despite the fact that it's 6 in the morning. Don't know where they're coming from. Another thing I was going to try and stream was that the Discord server is still a thing. I probably should link that in my... probably should link that in the description of my videos, because that is just a big thing that I have. I mean, I do have, like, the... What was I going to say? I do have Coffee, but that's linked, and then there's the Reddit account, which I post art on. There's a Twitter account that... I mean, Twitter. I post art there, and then I post a bunch of really weird takes on a bunch of things that nobody cares about, so... didn't really bother linking my YouTube... or my YouTube... Discord now that I think about it, and I probably should, because that is a social I have. And occasionally I might do Gardic phone streams with some of the people in there. Of course, at their consent of recording, because you know technically it is being filmed live in front of an audience of ranging from 1 to 30 people at all times. But I mean, it could be fun. I was also thinking of doing Don't Starve, or another multiplayer game on stream, because I have done a couple of games like Spooky Jumpscare Mansion. There's a couple of times we did achievement hunting and some of the people were on call. I'm trying to think of any other games that I've done like that. I don't really know. There's a couple of games though that I have played with some of the people on stream. With some of my friends on stream, I should say. But, it's a good time. Good time all around. I was also planning on playing, Passe Patois, The Starving Artist. It's this, cool little art indie game where you play as, like, a French guy and you make a bunch of art for a bunch of people. And it's pretty interesting. And then the critic in that game looks like, Ego from Ratatouille. And I was like, huh, that's pretty interesting. I was also planning, and again, a lot of plans. Some of them may not come to fruition, but they'll be done eventually. Oh, I need like... Nice. Planning on doing an indie game stream. That's just like 8 indie games in one stream. Of course, very small ones, that way they're like bite-sized games. There's a couple of games that I was kind of interested in. Tiny and, what was it, like, Tiny and Tall Gleipnir? Skamba Snowfall. If you couldn't tell, I'm getting these from the Steam's, Humble Bundle. Flasher looks pretty interesting. I'm just trying to play all, like, itsy-bitsy small games that I don't really have to put too much attention to. A couple of them look pretty interesting, and a couple of them look incredibly dumb. Like, I'm looking through all my stuff, and I'm just like, man, Skamba Snowfall. Now that looks like a really cool game. And then I look over, I'm like, oh boy, I wonder if I'm ever gonna play fucking, what is it called? Picto Quest. You know, Picto stuff. Like, you know, that stuff where it's like a whole box with a bunch of numbers and then you make a funny little thing out of it. Man, I hate those. Because I am a dumbass person. And when I'm presented with a puzzle, there's either 2 ways I get through it. Actually, 3 ways I get through it. 1, it's incredibly easy and I'm able to solve it. 2, completely brute forcing it. Or 3, not even trying in the first place. It's never just to use intuition and knowledge to get through it. I'm always like, oh man, it's gotta be one of the answers. It probably is an answer that's more clear than others. I'm trying to think if there's any game I actually, like, dead-ass got stuck on a puzzle. I've said that on, what is it called? Ultra Kill. I've gotten stuck a couple of times on the stupid Witless puzzle. But then again, that's not really too, I guess, insane. Just a Witless. It's just a Witless. Actually, the Witless is, of course, reference to The Witness. And The Witness is a game that I refuse to play on stream, simply for the reason that, I'm dumb as a box of cocks. I mean rocks. I mean cocks. I mean rocks. I have tried playing The Witness, god damn it. I've tried playing The Witness, and I do believe that is a pretty cool game. And I look over, and I'm like, man, I can only like, watch people play it. I can only watch, like, just a random person play it, on the internet. And, oh man, I'm looking at, all the stuff in that game, and I've played it for approximately, 2 hours. I played it for a very short amount of time, just enough so that way I get the basic premise of how to play it. Man, nope. I look at that game and I go, ha! What a fun time for people who are actually intelligent. I guess big day for pretentious people. Get it, guys! I made a Witness reference. People think the game's pretentious as shit. I will say the games that I hate the most are games that are pretentious, but in a way that makes it so they're pretentious into thinking that there's an ARG. That's the best way I can describe it. It's like, you go to a game, it has a cool puzzle, and the puzzle leads to like this huge big thing, this huge array of stuff, and at the very end it goes like, oh, you're clearly one of the smart ones. All the other primates have never been able to solve this puzzle, and it's just like, yeah, I put a thing through a spectrogram, and then I read a hidden message, and then I put that message in the Google Translate or something like that. You know what I mean? It's like, oh, you're like one of those people that are super intelligent and are incredibly smart. And I'm just like, I mean, I just scanned a QR code, and then I put that QR code through like in an encryptor online or something. It's like there's only so much ARG you can put into a game without making it seem completely obvious on what the answer is. Because, you know, the first thing you can always think of when you think the ARG starts with audio, spectrogram. The ARG starts with video, probably scan the properties of it. It's like, eventually when you like realize how many games have an ARG that's based around a spectrogram, or based around just a specific thing, it's just kind of like, Man, I'm not really all too intelligent for doing it, it's just kind of like instinct at that point. Tunic did something really cool with spectrograms. The audio in that game, fun fact, when put through a spectrogram, actually translates runes. And I'm talking about the main title screen specifically. The main title screen, and this happens with a lot of audio, but specifically, main title screen. When you're going through the main title screen, I think if you put it through a spectrogram, it has the runes like that are in the game, its own language. Puts the runes on the spectrogram. When you translate it, it says like "Welcome to Tunic" or whatever. I think it's like "Welcome to the game" or something. When you're clicking the individual buttons, like play, options, exit, whatever, when you're clicking those buttons, it plays a sound. Putting that through a spectrogram, it says options in the runes, and I'm like, oh, that's good. That's some good spectrogram stuff. It's like, just make spectrogram stuff a nice attention to detail, or like a cute little message. Don't make it this whole like, oh, you're super intelligent, super smart, and you're better than all the peasants who've played this game because you solved our crazy puzzle. There was one thing that I saw, like the cicada puzzles or whatever. I don't remember exactly what it's called. It's like the super really long, like worldwide thing that people managed to find, where it was like some people were finding these posters that like had a cicada, and if you like scanned a code, it like brought you to this whole ARG shit. And it's just like at the very end of it, it goes like, yeah, we'll be contacting you because you're clearly super smart, and the people who contacted them are never heard from again, or something like that. It's just cool. I mean, like, if I played Tunic and stuff like that, I mean, it was a really tough puzzle. I looked at the video of it and I was like, interesting shit. But at a certain point, you kind of have to go like, I mean, there are translators online for a lot of stuff, and all the stuff that's in the cicada, I'm pretty sure could just be easily translated with some guy's random guide on the internet. So I'm pretty sure, like, if they released it in 2023, it'd be cracked in like 5 days or something. But I beg to differ. I think games that do a really good job at making like really interesting spectrogram stuff is games that like don't take themselves too seriously with it. Oh, I'm looking at something quick. There we go. Sorry, I had to look at something real quick. Man, games that are just like dreadful are games that just take themselves way too seriously, even if they're just like puzzle games or whatever. Because I think The Witness does a really terrible job at doing that kind of stuff, where it's like, oh man, I really love it when a game is super pretentious. Also, no, I am not looking at the Eleanor Jumbo plush design for Subway Midnight. Fuck, it's $37. Damn. Why do plushes have to cost money? Why can't I have all of them? I have a whole shelf of them over there. Over there. You can't see it though. I got Dragonite. I got fucking Elizabeth, I think is her name, from Subway Midnight. And then I got Ralsei. And I got the Bup Cube from Simple Flips. And then I got a bunch of Pokemon over the actually obscenely amount of Pokemon plushies. Why do I have so many Pokemon plushies? Huh. I'm trying to see if there's any more shelves. I think I have like a Genesect one over there or whatever, but a large amount of plushies. Why do plushies cost so much? I just want to have them all. And it's not even for the sake of just wanting to, you know, oh, I want to use a plushie for its designated design, which is cuddling and snuggling with them. I want them as a collectible. I need to have status in the form of small things. I actually have a, if you can see it right there, I have a little area that is dedicated to Dark Souls figurines. I got Oscar, or just the Elite Knight. I got Gwendolyn in the middle, and then I got Solaire. Zeroscape has good puzzles. I think I've heard of this game. but I haven't tested it out. It looks interesting. Oh, I think fun. Hero Escape game. Oh, it's a series. Connery games. Locked inside a facility. Released in 2012 for Nintendo 3DS. Oy vey. I think there's probably like something online, like an emulator I can run it on, but I'm just gonna give one of these to the old Nintendo Switch, or not Nintendo Switch, Nintendo 3DS eShop. God bless. I mean, damn. Nintendo could be making a lot more money if they just put stuff that they really, really, really want, like money, put those games on the Switch and make the Switch better, like 60 FPS or like more storage or whatever. I don't know. Put whatever you want on the Nintendo Switch. That's where I have my hands off. But you put Nintendo 3DS games on the Switch, membership skyrockets instantly. Or just like put them on the Switch and have them as their own standalone games. Drop the price down like $10. Solid money. I mean, like, I would certainly pay for a new Pokemon game that isn't fucking Pokemon Violet or Scarlet and Violet, because I look at those games and I go, I mean, there can seriously be some crazy money to be made if you just put the games on consoles you don't care about onto new consoles. Like, for example, don't want to point any fingers, Bloodborne, a game that I have not played yet, but I've seen everything about. Put the stuff from Bloodborne onto the PC, because I'm not gonna lie, I would gladly place $60 for Bloodborne than having to put whatever amount Bloodborne is on the PlayStation 4, including a PlayStation 4, just to play Bloodborne. You know what I mean? It's like, to people who do not have a PlayStation 4, good luck playing Bloodborne, I guess. Unless you are a absolute devious bastard and can somehow find a way to put Bloodborne onto the PC and not get caught, then, damn. I did see, you know what's something actually I want to try out? Bloodborne. Yes. X. Yeah, this. It appears that... Oh, fuck. It appears that the Bloodborne PSX is free. Moop may have a fun little idea. So, I mean, that might be a future incentive. I just got reminded of that, so thank you, me, for stumbling upon that. But, what was I gonna say? The, stuff I was gonna say is that I wonder when humanity gets to a point where we are all in agreement of just one console. I don't know how to describe it. I want to imagine in like 2077, right? Future, big, advanced, expansive, everything is big and crazy, and the whole world's covered in cities, moving to other planets, population is all over the place, and we're all getting synthetic arms, whatever. You know, all that jazz. I wonder when people at a point are going to realize that having multiple consoles is not really that good of an idea. Because think about it. You take every single game, studio, thing, company, whatever, put them into one big, massive industry that just can mass produce games on the fly. Have them separated in districts based on game developers. Make a singular console to run everything. And I mean, like, have this thing be the most technologically advanced piece of software on the planet. Like, can go back eras in video games. You can play Game Boy games, and then if you get bored with that, go play Assassin's Creed Black Flag for Xbox 360. Bored with that? Go play the new COD game on Xbox One. Done with that? Go play Spyro or something like that. You know what I mean? Just a big console that has everything, and everything to soon be made. No more console exclusives. No more discontinuing a shop. Everyone just purchases everything. Biggest amount of money a person could possibly make is just making a universal console. It's because, sure, expensive as shit to make. That's how the PS5 kind of ended up. But the PS5 is not a universal console. It's like, more people are going to be wanting to get the universal console if they are being told, hey, you could play Pokemon Mystery Dungeon, that one that got discontinued or whatever. What is it called? Hold on. Pokemon Explorers of the Sky. That's the one. It's like if you could play Pokemon Mystery Dungeon Explorers of the Sky, and then immediately go to playing Bloodborne, and then go play the new Spider-Man game or whatever. It's like, I mean, there's a shitload of money to be made there. No more console exclusive bullshit. Because, I mean, I would much rather play on a console that I know I can play both a bunch of games from one console and a bunch of games from another console in that are not by the same brand. That's as much as I can say. Oh man, I mean, I could play a bunch of Nintendo games right now because I, fun fact, have my Nintendo Game Boy in a safe right there. I wish I could play all my favorite Game Boy games on a fun little console, and then get bored of that and just go play Spyro, but on 3D, and then just be like, probably not gonna want to play that right now. TF2, you know what I mean? Or even better, just have like console games on PC. Like God of War fucking skyrocketed first day when it got put on PC. Bam! Bunch of money right there. You don't have to do this console exclusive shit. Like, putting it and making it console exclusive is just dumb. Like, I get there's contracts and everything, but say no to the contract. You can make so much goddamn money if you were to put the game on other consoles. Fuck it, if I make a game, I'm gonna be putting it on, like, PS Vita, Xbox 360. If I ever make a game, you bet your ass bippy that I'm gonna be putting it onto Game Boy. You know what I mean? Just like, I don't get the whole console exclusive stuff, because it's like this kind of idea that it's like, well, if we put it on console exclusive, it's gonna mean it sell more because it's rare. No. If you make it cheap and put it on a console that's pretty expensive, you're just hindering yourself. It's not like you're making more money because the person buys the console. It's like, sure, there's Demon Souls exclusive to PS5. Do I want to pay $500 for something that's probably not going to be available till the next year, only to play one game out of a franchise that I love? You know what I mean? It's like, how about I just pay $60 to play it on PC with, like, limited graphics? I don't care about the graphics, I just want to play it. And I get PS5 is super big and heavy on all, like, the storage and stuff, and it's beautiful, wonderful, masterful console, whatever, yada yada, fucking PS5 Master Race, whatever, don't care. But if they just put Demon Souls on PC and didn't have the console exclusive stuff and just said, if you can run it, you can run it, pay $60 for it, you can have it on your PC, play it literally whenever, I'm buying that instantly, because I just want to be like, yeah, I would very much be down to play it. And it's like, no, you have to purchase a $500 console for it first. And I'm like, I don't want that one. But, I digress. Only from PSX has an IMDb page. Weird. Oh, apparently all the Dark Souls games and Bloodborne have an IMDb page. Why do they have an IMDb page? I've never bothered with this. Why do things... What's Zero Escape? From the looks of it, it is a 3DS exclusive, or 3DS/PS Vita exclusive puzzle game. And it kind of looks like... What does it remind me of? It looks kind of like... What was I gonna say? It looks kind of like... Oh. I caught it just in time. It was about to play the Hotline Miami OST, but that stuff gets instantly copyright fucking killed. Instantly. It looks similar to like Professor Layton, kind of. Looks pretty much. It's on Steam. Oh, would you look at that? It is on Steam. The Zero Escape Trilogy. The Zero Escape Trilogy consists of 2 games. Hmm? But you see what I mean? I like this. I like it when they have a PS3, like a PS Vita / 3DS exclusive game, and they're like, put it on Steam. It's like if Nintendo had an eShop specifically for outdated games on like PC, I'd fucking buy that stock instantly. Oh, I had to get that stuff up. You know what I'm feeling? No. Oh. So flippin' happy because Super Ghostbusters Deluxe Edition has been released yesterday. Super Ghostbusters. Never heard of that. Hello. Welcome to stream. Where was it? There's one song that I'm like, oh, it's a good song. I'm playing the Underwater, the Amori soundtrack. Ah. Sorry for not appearing for the streams. I've slept. Show up whenever. Trust me when I say that people are not bound to watching these streams when I do them. Hot and heavy. No! No, Jacket, no! You can't go in there with a shotgun. No! Please! Please! Jesus Christ, I cannot wait to play Hotline Miami on stream and have a field day with how bad I think the game is. I do not think that Hotline Miami is a bad game. I just want to preface this by saying Hotline Miami is a beautiful, beautiful, beautiful game. Fun visuals, a very complex story. I like it. That gameplay sometimes. Woo! Woo! Hot and heavy. That cruise ship level in Hotline Miami 2. Fuck that. For some reason I've noted that there's dudes in the sauna jacket. For some reason I've noticed an increase of like I guess not in recent times, but back in like 2014, just around that point, of just sequels to games sucking. They just suck. I was about to ask the games you might stream and I started talking about Hotline Miami. Are you a mind reader? You see, it's par for the course when I played all the Hotline Miami games. Especially when I've done a bunch of achievements in them. Oh boy, did I do a lot of achievements. What was I gonna say? Sequels in games from like 2014, I've noticed an increase of them just sucking. They all just suck. Like, I mean, I guess not in like 2014, or actually in 2014. I was about to say Half-Life 2 is Half-Life 2 is not a bad sequel. And then I realized that game came out in like 2009. Ooh. And you go like, oh, but like Dark Souls 2. That's a game. Hotline Miami 2. That's a game. Have you ever played The Binding of Isaac? Yes, I have. 135 hours worth. Some people say that's quite a lot. That's not a lot to some people. Everyone's bold and saying about Half-Life 2 is more polished and expanded. I like Hotline Miami 2. I think it is a cool game. If the levels weren't shit. I honestly think that some of the levels in that game could have been tweaked a little bit better to just not make them garbage. That one secret level that you do with Manny Pardo, I think. Unless I'm thinking wrong. Sorry. Excuse me. There's one secret level that requires that you beat a level with Jake without dying. And I'm like, that's cool and all. With Hotline Miami 2 stuff, with the amount of enemies that they put in that, nope. It stinks. But, yeah, I guess, oh, I can't, now that I think about it, 2014. Now that I really think about it, I mean, like, Borderlands 2. That's a game. 50 lessons of building with even. Dude. Jesus Christ. That level. If there was ever a level in a video game that can make me roll my eyes harder, it is that level. Because I'm like, cool. That's it. Thanks for making it so that way I had to waste my time going through that shit, only to see a bunch of people in masks start a new revolution. Neat. But Dark Souls 2, fucking Hotline Miami 2. Not a lot of games that I play that level on the constant. I remember doing the Evan levels, or just any of the levels that, like, with the pacifist guy. I remember doing those, and I thought they were pretty fun. I don't see why people think they're really annoying. I get that, like, oh boy, oh sweet Mary Mother of Joseph, you gotta constantly go through those and empty out all your clips, and you can only do melee attacks, but only sometimes. Or you can do the evil route, but man, I like doing the pacifist stuff. It's pretty interesting. And, you know, I did say that there are some games from 2014 that have sequels that just suck. And now that I think about it, I don't really have a lot of examples. Because the only game I was thinking of with was Dark Souls 2 and Hotline Miami 2. But then you got Borderlands 2, you got Payday 2, you got Portal 2, you got Half-Life 2, Team Fortress 2. And I guess those games came out in like 2009 and stuff. The baby is leaving. But there are some games that I'm looking at the list and I'm just like, man, I just completely forgot that these sequels actually rock. What's another good game? Our BioShock 2 was meh. Stream Pizza Tower. That's a point of contention for me. I have seen every single inch of Pizza Tower, from streams to people playing the game. Now, I would like to play Pizza Tower, but I don't want to play it. And there's a very good reason why. It's just because, because I've seen every single inch of everything that is in that game, I feel like the effect of playing it would just be lost on me. Because I get, super, super, super cool game with lots of really neat mechanics. And I'm just like, probably not. I mean, it is neat. Oh yeah, also, people who have played Obori, fuck this level. Anyways, but I mean, I feel like the effect of playing a new and fresh game would be lost on me, because I'm like, man, that's a super neat game, and I really like the art style of it, and it's super cool and neat and awesome and cool and awesome and neat. But I feel like as I play it, I'd probably just be like, oh yeah, there's also this thing, and just the effect would be lost on me. And I guess, I do believe Pizza Tower is a super cool and neat game. I just don't really want to spend 30 bucks on a game I've practically already played, is the way I can describe it. Games that I am super hyped for, though. Sugary Spire, a Pizza Tower fan game on demo. I have seen Sugary Spire. I haven't seen gameplay of it, but I have heard of it. With new mechanics. From what I've heard, you play as the Noise instead, and Peppino's the new Noise or whatever. In some sort of backwards parallel reality or whatever. But let me see. Yeah, that's the one where it's that's the one where it's the Noise becomes Peppino, and Peppino becomes the Noise. And it's kind of similar mechanics. Looks pretty interesting. I, again, probably won't check it out. But one game that I really... Oh, am I hyped for it. I have 3 games on my list that when they come out, I'm going to be playing the absolute shit out of them. Instantly. And I have them on my wish list here. Nirvana, cyberpunk bartending action. I believe the like sequel slash prequel to Valhalla, which is one of my favorite story games of all time. I think the next song on this list is the. No, this one's just chill lab music. I'm trying to skip all the battle music from Omori. Remnant 2, which I've played Remnant 1, From the Ashes. Cool ass game. I want you to envision Dark Souls Fallout. It's fun. I like it. Super neat mechanics. I think some of the bosses could have been reworked a little bit better, and I haven't actually finished the game. The story probably could just be shit for all I care, but it's neat. I like it. It's a super cool game. And the sequel, I'm like, I want to get on the sequel the moment it comes out, because, like, I've been missing out. The one where Noise quits TV and goes making candy. I don't really know the plot of it, but, what was I gonna say? Oh, the other game I have on my list. And this one, I mean, instantly, moment it comes out, laying it on stream. Ina Dream Barbecue. Oh, it quells my soul to know that they are making a game about it. Just, oh, it quells my aching heart. Because every single time I see a really cool animation, I'm just like, what if it was a video game? What if I could play? What if I could do it? What if I could play the video game? Oh, get the shit out of me. No. You heard 1 second of the fishing thing from what is it called? The fishing thing from Ultra Kill. One. Ah. Delicious. I don't want to play Omori on stream, I ain't gonna lie. I think Omori is a super interesting game, but I can't. I don't really. When I look at that game, I feel sad. And it's not because it's a depressing game, it's not because I'm like, oh man, it's just a super depressing and really crazy game. Noise becomes... Is it because of a concussion when fighting Peppino and he goes and... Damn. Huh. Lol. Lol indeed. But, man, I don't even want to play Omori on stream. Because that's the kind of game where I look at it and I'm just like... You know, you don't have to make everything super depressing at all times. I think it's an interesting game. I do believe that it is that Omori is a neat game with a bunch of funny things. For example, that one Humphrey in that one Humphrey level that says I really fucking love air conditioning. That was hilarious. But there are some points in the game where I'm just like, no, I don't enjoy this. It's and it's mainly just from like the stuff where they talk about all the depressing shit, and it's not because like I don't enjoy it because it's depressing. I just don't enjoy it. A baby has arrived. I just don't enjoy it because sometimes I'm just like, I look at it and I go, you know, I just don't like it. I mean, there are some cases where I'm just like, I love the art style of that one section, or I love this boss, and I love that thing. I love that cool gimmick and that one random NPC that says something funny. And then you get into the depressing stuff and you're just like, oh, I don't care. Can I just fucking play video game? Cat, funny cat. The cat has disappeared into my arm. He will never be seen again until the next millennia. But I don't really know how to describe Omori's story for me. But I just it was lost on me. And I think like if I have actually paid attention to the story, I would have enjoyed it a lot more, but yeah, I hate nihilism so fucking much. It's can we just have nihilism to the point where people can actually enjoy their fucking lives? No fault to anyone who's going through an actual depression. Like, an actual deep depression. If you are feeling that, this is the best tip I can provide. Seek a therapist. Because when I say it helps, I am not being sarcastic at the slightest. In any way, shape, or form. If you are dealing with depression, try and consult a therapist. That is the best advice I could possibly give for that kind of shit. but I hate the nihilism of some people, where it's like, what was I gonna say? I guess the best way I can describe the nihilism that I fucking despise is the nihilism that's just like, nothing matters in this world, so might as well just end it. It's such a poor excuse. Why not everything in life sucks? Live and ride. Ride and live. I mean, that's how I function. Like, I think the world fucking blows. I think that we are truly, well and truly just fucked. As humans, greed has consumed us to the point where we are turning something as beautiful as art into a money-making machine. We're taking the most beautiful wonders in life and stripping them of everything that's worth. I'm not gonna kill myself over that. I'm gonna fucking live it. For every goddamn second. Hold on a second, I'm receiving a notification. Sorry a sec. But there was one thing that I saw on Twitter, and I'm pretty sure anyone who's been on Twitter has seen this. There was this book that some guy made where it's like, oh, you're not special. And it's supposed to be a book to, like, teach kids to, like, take things down a notch if they're being too egotistical by saying, like, oh, you're not special. Everything you've done has already been done before, and everything you've created will have already been created before. And I'm just like, man, what a fucking piss-poor way of looking at the world, eh? How did we go from talking about the Pizza Tower fan game to nihilism? That's just the way the world rolls. I mean, we started off the conversation by talking about, I think, like, games I was going to stream, to the Universal Console, to Bloodborne and IMDb pages, to Pizza Tower fan game, to nihilism. We've kind of, I mean, the way the conversation flows is not dictated by me, but by dictating how my mind wavers so frequently. But how do I describe this? I guess, like, Amori is in that kind of realm of nihilism that I just fucking hate. I'm just like, yeah, I understand depression, you don't have to make a game about it. Like, I kind of want to live in that whole, like, Headspace universe, where we just get to see all the fun and quirky, secret, weird, cool characters. And I know it's understandable, like, well, I mean, not everything's always going to be Headspace all the time. Sometimes you have to live in the real world, and I'm just like, I know. How do you find things to talk about? I sit there, and then I put that up, and then someone does something, and then my mind wavers. Because, I ain't gonna lie, ADHD is a son of a bitch, and it's gonna take me places I didn't think I'm ever gonna be going. By finding things to talk about, Google something. I'm just imagining it's like, I don't have anything to talk about. What's the weather in your country? But, what was I gonna say? But, man, Amori fits into that realm of nihilism that I'm just like, can't enjoy it for the life of me. And I get that there's some people who actually go through that shit, where it's like this actual depression. And it's this deep pit that you're not able to get out of. And the only advice I can ever give is, like, either seek a therapist or ride and die. That's the way I live life, is I sit here and I drink monsters and ghosts, and I sit here and I do whatever the fuck I want. Because that's just how the world is. It's like I'm not making an impact by being here. Nobody really is in this cold and desolate universe. But, man, Amori really just kind of puts things into perspective of how fucking annoying some people can be with nihilism. Heard it's good though, might see it one day. I think Amori is a really cool game. The story, again, kind of lost on me, but that's just because I'm not really in the realm of that whole aspect of nihilism that is like, you know, oh, I did this one bad thing and now I fucking, or everything's bad, or alright, later's phosphorus. But, man, I just, every time I look at Amori or any, Rick and Morty, that's a fucking show I hate for everything it's worth. Okay, hate's probably a strong word. I think sometimes Pickle Rick. But, man, I hate Rick and Morty. It's just because it's this constant obsession of people constantly thinking that the planet we live on is something small. Why does the music fit with nihilism talk for some reason? I mean, it's from the game, Amori. This is, I mean, I think this is a really good track. This one's called Sinking, and I think that kind of fits the theme of all this nihilism talk. But anyways, Rick and Morty. Do I hate it? Rick and Morty can be decent and stupid. That is true. I think that, like, some parts of Rick and Morty, I'm just like, funny. Funny little show. Funny little quirky show for smart people. And there's some times where I, like, listen to there's, like, one part where, like, Rick says, like, love is just a chemical reaction that compels us to breed. I think that's the exact quote. And I just go, like, yeah. No, you hit the nail on the head there, bud. Thanks, Justin Roiland. Thanks for putting it into perspective. Now, should I feel better for hearing that, or should I feel worse for hearing that? It's like, thanks for making me feel bad on a show. It's like, I think there's a couple of clips I saw of BoJack Horseman. That show. Oh, now that's a good show right there. It hits hard. I've seen like 1 or 2 episodes. Oh, I need to watch the whole series, because that show, like, from the clips I've seen of it, just, perfect. Emboldening. But I look at Rick and Morty and I go, like, yeah, you really hit the nail on the head with that one. I mean, you sure did say that love is just a terrible thing, and you sure did really put things in perspective that, like, something sucks, or something's terrible, or something's not good. And I'm just like, yep, that happens, that exists. Shit hits the fan hard sometimes. I mean, Justin Roiland of all people should know that. But man, I look at some of the people that are just kind of like, yeah, we're all just a small speck on this universe, and it's just a big expansive, we mean nothing. And it's like, we mean nothing. So this existence that we live in is terrible. I mean, we've been granted a world of limited but limitless possibilities. Like, sure, I'm not able to go outside and go lift a car right now, but the fact that I can go do that in a form of escapism in, like, fucking GTA or whatever, the fact we have a video game to go play, the fact we have a ground to walk on, the fact we have a voice to speak with, is a gift we already, like, so frequently forget that we have. The freaking heavy is dead. What do you think of that? What do I think of the heavy being dead? I love that animation so much. I'm glad that a lot of people loved it as well. But what was I gonna say? The fact that we've been given so much and people just take it super for granted with nihilism, it's just like, fuck off. Like, honestly. It's just this whole thing that, like, yeah, I think the world sucks and everything is just in this terrible point of view, and it's like, not really, no. It's like, people don't know about quarks, and quarks are a thing that constantly have to balance each other out in the universe. Whenever there is a positive quark, there always has to be a negative quark. That is how the universe exists. And I mean that literally scientifically. That is a thing that exists. I think it's about to loop back to the song, so let's go back to Aquafire. Nice. But, oh boy, do I just, like, hate the type of nihilism where it's like this whole thing where it's like, oh, grr, I hate the universe because we're all a bunch of stupid, dumb specks in the middle of the universe, grr. And it's like, yeah, but what of it? It's not like you're going to do anything about it. It's not like I'm going to do anything about it. Live and ride by it. Who knows? Maybe you might live to be the next president of the United States. Maybe you may live to be the next president of Mars. You never know. It's like you're taking such a big thing for granted. It's like, I'm sitting here in a chair, and I'm talking with people on the internet. A thing that has been expanded across the entire rock that we live on. And I'm talking with these people flawlessly and seamlessly through a website that has over, like, what? 3,000, like, 3 billion videos on it that we can just watch at any time. People can sit there on a device the size of their hand and watch this right now. And I'm just like, if people are going to see this in such a nihilist view, you've been given the gift of sentience to such a point where you're able to contemplate the meaning of life. Live every second of it. Take this opportunity that has been given to you. You have been given an entire sandbox of a world, with the only thing being limited is your own person. And even then, if you were to be given the amount of, like, if you were to be buff and strong and agile, you can do a whole bunch of other things than other people. If you were smart, intelligent, and a brainiac, you could do a lot more things than a bunch of other people. Confusing your Minos Prime video of you being live. I'm like, yes, I'm now fighting Minos Prime right now! But, I guess the best way I can describe the whole point of view with nihilism for me is, like, I do believe that I am not going to make an impact. I might never find love. I might never see my life being past 30 or 35, even 20. I can never see my life going past a specific point. And yet, I'm still here. It's not like I'm going to do anything about it. Like, sure, the next day I could potentially end my own life. And I won't. Because I know that I can sit here and I can talk and talk and talk and talk and talk and talk. But what comes after death? Potentially nothing. Potentially a world of non-existence. Potentially a place where your voice is never heard. So the best way I can describe it is that if you are thinking that the point of view, if your nihilistic point of view is that there's nothing worth living in this world, rethink it. You have been given the most pristine possible thing, which is life. You also have been given sentience. Look around you. I mean, I'm talking to currently like 2 to 3 people in this entire planet that we've been given. And it may expand. It may shrink. There might come a day where I make a bad decision and something happens. Or I might make a good decision and all of a sudden, whoa, everyone sees my stuff. And I didn't even see myself getting to this point when I was like 12. So you know what I mean? You're taking this gamble every single time you like live another day. Where you never know when you'll just eventually make it big. That's a minute ago, the music fits the nihilism. Now we're getting to the nihilistic part. EA Sports. It's in the game. And, what was I gonna say? All the stuff with, like, the crazy amount of things, like, yes, there's corruption, and yes, there's greed, and yes, there's war and tragedy. But that just happens. That's a gamble of life that we all take. Because we live day by day and just sit here in chairs and talk on the internet. It's like, we're not really making an impact. Already. Later, Phosphorus, again. But, what was I gonna say? It's like, every single day you kind of have to roll the dice on whether today's going to be a good day or a bad day. Just because you have a couple bad days in a row doesn't mean you're going to roll the dice again and get another bad day. Hello everybody, here's my tutorial on how to railcoin and do core nukes. I like how I'm talking about this whole discussion of like nihilism and like what I think the point of view should be for a person who has nihilism. Like as a person who has nihilism. And I'm looking over in chat and people are like, hey guys, I three shot a Cerberus, let's go. There's no fault of anyone's own. But I think from the perspective of my own nihilism, it's just like roll the dice every day. And you never know when you might make it to this pristine level of perfection. Or you'll just live the next day and like, I stepped in dog shit. Whatever. Doesn't mean today's a bad day. I'll just have to roll the dice again and see how the day pans out. Because that's how I live every single day. I didn't get any sleep the previous night. It is currently 7 in the morning, and I have not slept a single inch since the last monster stream. And that was like 12 hours ago. And now I'm rolling the dice. Will I go to sleep and have a terrible nightmare? Will I go to sleep and have a pleasant dream? Will I stay up all the entire day and just play Satisfactory, will my PC suddenly explode, killing every single thing in this room? It's a dice I roll every day, and it's very nice. It's a nice feeling. Hello, welcome to stream. It's a very weird point where everyone's joining the stream because I'm talking about nihilism. But I guess it's like, the best way I can describe it is like, I love rolling the dice every single day and just seeing how the day pans out. Maybe one day I'll post a video and it gets like 2 views. Nothing. Oh, please don't make those jokes in chat. Let's not. Simmer it down a little bit because I don't want to see that shit. Talking about nihilism here. We're not talking about that. Let's be frank here. But anyways, as I was saying, the stuff with just all that rolling the dice, it's like, if you roll the dice over and over and over again, like, you never know if you're gonna end up with that, right? You know what I mean? You never know when you can end up to the point where I'm at. I never thought when I was 12 that I would ever be able to have an audience of over 1,000 people know that I exist. And of course, it's all judging by your own decisions. Like, for example, if I post a YouTube video and it gets like 2 views, it doesn't mean that you're a failure. It just means that you need to get the ball rolling. Because as you're rolling those dice, there's going to be tons and tons and tons of branching pathways. Like, what game am I going to play today? What thing am I going to do? What path am I going to walk? What people am I going to talk to? What friends am I going to make? What friends am I going to ignore? What pets am I going to pet? You know what I mean? You just roll the dice every day. And it's a random chance that something will just happen that you don't really like. And something will happen that you adore. Like, for example, I rolled the dice one day and said, I might make a Twitch clip, or not a Twitch clip, a YouTube clip about a funny thing that happened on a stream. That event was Something Wicked This Way Comes, scaring the absolute shit out of me. And that was hilarious, that was fun. And that was another roll of the dice. Would I be able to go do like 0-2 or 0-S without dying for the challenge? That's another dice I rolled. Then I rolled another dice and I uploaded it. Then I rolled another dice and I put a funny little tag in it. You know what I mean? And I'm just like, roll the dice every day. You never know what might come up. Because life is a big gamble every single time you go through it. But you don't have to have this nihilistic point of view where it's like, oh, well, because it's this gamble every single day, I might as well just end it so it's always 100% guaranteed to just be nothing. It's like, if it's 100% nothing, it's 0% anything. You're not going to have anything after everything's gone. Let's be frank here. Roll the dice. Roll that dice every day. And it might come up snake eyes, and you might step in dog shit. And it might come up double sixes. And you might live an absolutely perfect existence that day. Like, I rolled the dice today and I got a 4 and a 3. The day is fine. The day, nothing terrible happened. Nothing good happened. Nothing bad happened. Who knows, maybe in about 3 hours from now, another dice will be rolled. And all of a sudden, I will have $17 billion in my bank account. Suddenly, I roll the dice the next day. All of a sudden, I am then shot in the kidney, and I am immediately taken to ER and having surgery on me. But 99.999% of your day will just be rolling the dice, and it either comes up a 7 or a 5. If it's a 7, you might be walking a little bit better. You might be talking a little bit cleaner. You might have a bit of a jaunt about you. And then you might roll the dice and get a 5, and it's like, well, I mean, this coffee was a little too hot, or this walk was a little annoying, and the breeze was catching the wind, and this happened with a specific company, or this happened somewhere around the world, and it's like, yeah, that's just how dice works. Dice constantly get thrown around, and dice constantly land on different numbers all the time. And that doesn't mean that when a dice keeps coming up snake eyes over and over and over again, that all of a sudden that is just your point of view for the rest of your life. if you keep rolling that dice, eventually something insane will happen. Like, I was rolling the dice when I was 13. I was depressed when I was 13. I was in that point of view of thinking nothing in life mattered. But I kept rolling the dice anyways. And I kept rolling and rolling and rolling, and soon I was like, okay, so I went into this random Discord server and I met a friend. And then I went into this random area and I met another friend, and soon enough, all those dice started coming up 6s. Sometimes even going into double digits, and I was like, wow. I have now been given a channel with 1K subscribers, a fan base that's as loyal as shit. I'm kidding. A fan base that's about as loyal as a nice guard. A big ass PC, a cool mic, a nice t-shirt, a good pair of headphones. Wait, am I turning? That thing. Sorry, it's all backwards on my end. That thing. It's like, you know what I mean? Keep rolling the dice every day and you never know what's gonna happen. Like when you roll that snake eyes and something terrible, awful, bad happens, that's not the call to just give up. That is the call to do it again. Because you never know when just all of a sudden something happens and you are presented with the most elegant thing in your entire life. You just gotta battle through the hardships, because there will be a day where every single dice you roll will come up 6s, and you will be absolutely swimming in happiness. And that's how I lived for most of my teenage years. I never found love. I never really found real life friends, and I never really bothered talking to other people. But when I started rolling those dice over and over and over again, eventually I was like, maybe those dice shifted to a different area. And soon I realized that those dice didn't really shift to my real life, but shifted to this one. And now I'm talking to potentially as many people as they want, as many people that just watch the random streams or watch the random videos as they want. Like, the Twitch clip of Something Wicked This Way Comes having 11k views. It means 11k people looked at that and went, I want to look at that. You don't see 11k people walking up to me and saying, asking me to be their friend. Alright, my watch turned on all of a sudden. This isn't my watch, it's actually my sister's. She wanted me to charge it. But, hold on. We gotta get our Amori soundtrack. No, this is too sad. Hold on. This is too sad. A sec. Let me see something. Here. I don't want this one. That was a bit itchy. No, not that one. Not that one. This one always makes me think of rain. But I guess when you roll the dice, they always can get shifted to a different area. Like, say a person rolls the dice and it comes up snake eyes that day and they just don't really feel all too well. Maybe they're sick, maybe they're, maybe they're sick, maybe they're not really going through some good times, but maybe they roll the dice in another way and all of a sudden just like status changes and now all of a sudden they're famous. It can happen. Like, who was I gonna say? Here's a pretty good example. I'm just gonna say a random name. Jacksepticeye. Let's be frank here, he was starting YouTube, like, making videos in a shed in the woods, or a cabin in the woods. I'd call it a shed, but it's a cabin. Like, he made videos in the woods in a cabin and was just talking. Didn't really know where it'd go and didn't really know where it'd lead to. And now all of a sudden you look at him and he is popping off, talking with the famous people, having his own brands and shit. It's like you look at that stuff and you go, whoa, what happened there? He kept going and he kept rolling dice, and eventually those dice came up all 6s, and eventually he kept rolling them and rolling them and rolling them. Maybe a couple bad days, maybe a couple good days, bad days, like he had to take that whole entire YouTube like couple month break, and then kept rolling sixes after that, and then had the best time of his life. Came back and he was more productive than ever. Like, say for example you roll a couple snake eyes and you're just like, life isn't worth living anymore. Nonsense. You can always keep rolling dice. Because as much as you can say, oh, I can just end my life right now, keep rolling the dice. You never know. You will never know when it gets to the point where everything is going your way. I'm gonna go. Alrighty, later, no. You know what I mean? Like, keep that in mind. Keep that perspective of just making sure. Sorry, hold on, I'm looking at a couple of things. Sorry, I know this is kind of. Okay. Anyways, it's like keep that point of view of like, if I roll the dice, something good will happen, something bad will happen, something. Keep that in mind. Like, you never. It's like nothing is over until it is truly over. It's like, even if it's over, it's not over. There's one meme that I saw that was like this thing where it's like moods of the group chat, and it was like fluctuating on like a sine wave, and it said like, it's so over, oh we're so back, let's fucking go, it's so over, we're back. You know what I mean? It's just, it's always gonna fluctuate. I mean, whoever put us on this world is a cruel mistress. I'm interested in this and I don't know why, lol. That's the message I've just been living by for a long time. It's just that nothing's over until it's truly over. And even then when it's truly over, still not over. Nothing really ends. A video game can be played a billion, trillion, quadrillion times. A video can be watched a trillion, billion, quadrillion times. A song can be listened to a quadrillion times. But a life can only be lived once. So, just take what you're given and live every goddamn second of it to the max. That way you have the best possible chances of making sure that your life is worth living for. Not existing through, living for. I guess that's really the best advice I can give to anyone who has like a very poor sense of nihilism, that, or like this idea that you know, life isn't worth living for. It's not. Life is not really worth living for, but it's worth going through and seeing if it's worth living for. Because, I mean, I'm not the happiest person. I frankly think that some of the things that I've done in my life are terrible. You know, as a kid, I was fucking horrible. I just want to say right now, like, everybody as a kid is terrible. But I think that I was the worst. And, like, I don't think too good of myself. Like, I think I have a caffeine addiction. I drink Monsters. Not daily, but, you know, enough to make streams about them. Energy drinks. Sit here on my ass and play video games, and I don't think too highly about myself, and yet I still roll the dice, and look where I am now. People show up to the streams and talk. I got that thing. Oh, hold on. That thing. Like, you know what I mean? Kind of roll through it. Sorry, my friends are boasting about how they got sleep because they saw my stream, and I was like, can't say the same. But I mean, I don't think too highly of myself, and a bunch of people don't think too highly of themselves either, but it's like, if you don't think too highly of yourself, just kind of realize all the good points, or all the good things that you have with you. Like, for example, I don't think that my teeth are the best. Maybe they're a bit yellow some days. On the stream, they're absolutely glistening. And, of course, if I don't point out a couple of things about myself, people immediately don't realize it at first, because people don't see people as disgusting, horrible creatures the first time they meet them. They see them as people, then go from there. If you were to present me a picture of, say, I just want to throw this name out there, Andrew Tate. Show me a picture of him, give me zero context on who that person was. Of course, I know everything about them. Fuck that man for everything he stands for. But if you showed me a picture of him, I would have been like, it's a rich guy. Pretty much all I can say. I mean, he's got expensive cars. He's got expensive clothing. he is a rich person. Then if you told me everything, I'd tell you that he is the biggest fucking, like, worst, terrible human being on this entire planet. I hate him for everything he's worth. And then you could show me a picture of, say, I don't know, Markiplier. Show me a picture of Markiplier. And with zero context, of course, and I say, he probably is a person who goes on social media a lot, or is a very big influencer. And then you tell me everything he's done, and I'd be like, oh yeah, it's a pretty cool person. That's a neat guy. It's like, without context for some people, people only see people just based on what they look like. And of course, don't judge a book by their cover, because you never know if anything's gonna change. But for example, if I made a piece of art, and it has a mistake, and I pointed that mistake out to everyone, people are going to instantly recognize the mistake and think less about it. But if you don't say any mistakes about yourself, you're immediately putting yourself at this high point of view. Like, for example, if I said, my forehead's a bit big, people immediately see, yeah, my forehead is a bit big. But, for example, people would have been able to see that, or even notice that, for the first little bit. They would have just seen me for a guy sitting here with a pair of headphones and a mic right there. And it's like, people will just see me for that. It's like, people don't really see me for being a tad, underweight until I, like, do this. And realize I got no muscle here. There's not a single muscle to be had. And only if I point out those things do people recognize, hey, this person has a couple of things that he doesn't think too highly of himself. But if I don't draw attention to them, that's the point where I guess if you don't really point out the bad things in yourself, people don't see those bad things. What content are you going to do other than Social Kill in general? I'm trying to edit videos, but it's very hard because the streams that I do are long, and I can't... I can't edit for shit. I'm going to be completely frank with you. I hate editing. I was planning on doing a challenge where I would, or a bounty rather, I would pay people money to edit videos for me, like fan edits, and then I'd put them on the channel and give them credit, give them money of course, and such, but haven't gotten to that point yet. Eventually Dark Souls videos will be getting put to video, a couple of other things like that, maybe some speedruns even, but for now, Minos and Ultra Kill is just kind of where I'm residing now. It's kind of it's what got me here, it's what's going to take me farther. But, what was I going to say about the whole stuff? Oh, right. It's like, if I present to you a piece of art, and I said, there's a mistake in this picture, then a person's going to be like, oh, well, now I'm going to look for the mistakes. But if you present a piece of art to someone and just say, look at this art that I made, they're not even going to see the mistakes the first time around. Sure, some people like to pinpoint and look at every single individual mistake a person has made or can make, but I mean, unless you point them out, it's going to be pretty hard for a person to even see those mistakes to begin with. And I've seen some people on the internet just be like, I'm not really worth living for because I'm ugly. And it's like, do people think you're ugly? Or do you think you're ugly? Because I think I'm fucking hideous. Like, let's be frank. I think I'm a terrible person. I think of things that are not too good. I think that I'm not really too human in some ways. I don't think of myself too kindly. But some people are like, yeah, he makes pretty fun Ultra Kill content, or yeah, his art is pretty good. And no one really sees me as this guy who's like a terrible human being just because I, did something bad and my brain is just like, oh, you suck and you're terrible. Ah, what have you done? It's like, oh no, I dropped a glass on the floor and now it's broken. My brain's immediately going to go be like, oh, you're such a klutz, you fucking suck. But people are just going to be like, oh, just clean it up. Whatever. And, again, it's also just like, if people are provided zero context about a person, they only judge them off their looks. Like, if you looked at me, you might think teenager, YouTuber maybe. I mean, they have the big mic, they have a bunch of stuff, they do art, love to collect things, probably drinks stuff, or just has a bunch of cups laying around. Maybe not the cleanliest person, but I mean, I deep clean my room like daily. If there is something out of place in this room, it is instantly picked up to the max. It's like, nobody would really know that unless I pointed it out. Now this is a good song. I love this one. Poems in a Fog is the name of this track. I'm doing this based off of the Amori songs to help you sleep slash relax slash cry question mark OST playlist. It's good. But I guess it feels good to talk about a bunch of stuff like that because it just means that, like, you know what? Maybe someone in the world needs advice. And providing that advice to some people may be the only thing that they really want. And if I can give that advice out, if there's 3 things to take away from this stream, this is now suddenly shifted from like talking about emulators and all that, like Universal Console and like Pizza Tower. It is now shifted into the biggest advice I could possibly give to a person who is actually contemplating like suicide. Roll the dice, and you are never judged until you give them the context, or give them any context of that matter. Fallen down reaction when? Oh my god, it's Undertale! I guess. But, I mean, that's probably gonna do it for the stream, to be honest. I mean, I gotta go do, like, stuff. Roll the dice. See what happens today. Today, I might roll the dice and do a Hollow Knight stream. Roll the dice and kind of see what happens. And maybe a new viewer will watch the channel and be like, this is a pretty interesting and honest content. And in my brain I'll go, oh, my voice sounds like shit. Ah, it sounds a lot better in my head than on video, but that just happens with everyone. Like, not only don't judge a book by its cover, it's like don't judge a book by, you know, what mistakes they can point out as well. It's like if I told a person like, oh, my teeth aren't the best, they're gonna be looking at my teeth constantly. Like, don't draw attention to what you don't want seen. I don't draw attention to myself. And look how I turned out. I'm almost mistakeless to some people. Some people look at me and they just go, it's a guy. Woogie woogie woogie. But some people can look at me and think, oh, he doesn't look cool or bad. Like, I have found that middle ground by just not drawing attention to any bad part of myself and not all the good parts. Like, for example, I can say, oh, yes, I recently cleaned my hair. And yes, it has a bunch of very nice curls, even though I didn't think my hair would actually get curly by the time I was like 13. And I was like, I can draw attention to that and just be like, huh, funny, I have curly hair. And people will notice that curly hair. But I can also say, oh, it's super matted in the back and it looks disgusting. I mean, it's not, but if I said it was, then people immediately go, oh, he doesn't shower. Ew. For context, I did shower. It only looks like this because of doing this constantly, you know what I mean? Putting this against the back. But yeah, that's the advice I give to people if they are going through some tough times or just would like some advice. But I think it's time that I head off for now, because I am tired. I mean, I'm not. I drank a monster, or not a monster, a ghost. But I'm glad that I was able to share this advice with some people who may need it, some people who may not. But if that advice has helped you, enjoy it. Enjoy every second that you're worth breathing. Because you're not a waste of skin until you have truly done something terrible. And I'm not talking like, oh no, you're... Share some bad... roll the dice context, the bad things. Share some good, bad, share some good. Don't share all the good things. It's not only don't share all the good things, just try to share as many good things as possible. Don't share the bad stuff if you don't want it seen. That's the best way I can describe it. It's like... Sorry. Receiving notifications. It's like, I guess the best way I can describe it is, roll the dice every day, because you never know what might happen. But also, as a general rule of thumb, try not to share as many bad things as possible. Like, for example, if you go like, Oh, I dropped a glass. Oh, I'm such a klutz. Then people immediately go, they're a klutz. They may be clumsy with objects. It's like, if you don't draw attention to that, people are not even going to notice. They're going to think, oh, I made a mistake. The Sisyphus is too fast. But, I guess that's the best advice I can really give. It's just like, take life a step at a time. And maybe that step may be a little bit of a dip. Maybe it may be a big step down. Or maybe you might be walking up to a perfect staircase. The road of life fluctuates heavily for some people. And some people it remains so middle of the road that it's downright boring. Like me. Like, I walk the middle of the road, and there's not a single damn thing that happens. I don't get into fights, and I don't win fights. I don't treat people terribly, but then again, I'm not treated kindly. I don't give money out, and I never get a lot of money for it. If you walk that middle of the road, it's like, sure, I mean, live life adventurously all you want, but, I mean, if you're walking that middle of the road and you're just like, I don't want to get into fights and be adventurous, it's like, things balance out. Things will always balance out. As long as there is a good thing, there's a bad thing. So, everything has an equal and opposite reaction. I'll bum my head off now. I think I'm going to do the same, because I would like to vibe. Have a good night. Have a good night? It's 7:25 in the morning! No, I'm just kidding, though. But, yeah, I think that's a good place to leave it off. I, frankly, would like to go and just, you know, vibe. Because knowing that I am sitting here, talking with random people on the internet, is a dice I rolled, and it's a dice that came up 6s. Who knows? Maybe the next day I'll roll the dice and get shot in the kidney. Maybe the next day I'll roll the dice and fall down a sewer gate. You never know until you try. So, with that information, and with that advice, I'll